again. I've just got in from work. It's bang on midnight, and that's another day sober, another day under the belt, which is good. So I was watching some videos earlier at work on my break about how to do these kind of talking head films, because obviously I'm not really used to doing them. And one of the things that was suggested was that you need to look at the camera, like look at the camera, look at the lens, which I have a tendency to look all over the place. So if I'm sort of just staring straight ahead, then that's why. But I've been thinking a lot after the films that the last couple of films that I've put up. I've been thinking a lot about 15 years ago and the day that I stopped drinking. Now, I'd made the decision to stop, and I knew that sort of day one was going to be, or day one of no drinking was going to be the Monday. I think that always works quite well if you can do that. Start on a fresh week, or whatever works for you is obviously whatever works for you. But for me, it was to start on a fresh week, fresh start. Try and do it nice and clean. So I went into work, and I found a meeting nearby, and I went to this meeting, and it was quite a big one. There were quite a lot of people there. There must have been a good 50 odd people there, 50, 60 people. And I sat down and I sort of just wanted to see how it went, how it worked. I mean, I've been to meetings before, but each meeting is slightly different. I mean, you will have some meetings that are specifically for men, some specifically for women. There are some specifically for LGBT, that kind of thing. And each meeting is slightly different. Oh, the cat's just got up. So yeah, each meeting is slightly different. So you have to sort of learn the way of each meeting. So I went to this meeting, and it was about an hour, and getting that first meeting under my belt was the most important thing at that moment in time. The second most important thing for me, and I think other people have sort of suggested that how important it is that I said out loud, in front of people, that my name is Paul and I'm an alcoholic. Now, I personally never had any sort of, I never had any, what was I trying to say? It wasn't a problem for me to say that usually. Although I didn't say it in front of people, I knew it myself. So, admitting it wasn't an issue. But standing up in a room full of people and saying it is slightly different. It was, But the important thing about the meetings is you have to remember that every single person in that room, every single one, has been there on their first day as well. They've been where you are. They've felt the same way. And one way or another, they've all been through the same kind of thing. Now, obviously every story is different, but we're all joined by the fact that we're all alcoholics. So, yeah, I did this one meeting, and on the same day, and I have to say that I've always thought that, for me personally, it felt like on that day, everything fell into place all at once. It was kind of weird. On the same day that I made the decision to stop drinking, I made the decision to go to a meeting. I also discovered some tapes, sort of some recordings, um, of a couple of American fellas called Charlie and Joe. And, it's basically them being recorded at Alcoholics Anonymous seminars and stuff like that, where they were quite well-known speakers. And I listened to them explaining how alcoholism works, and um, and why we're alcoholics. Why are we? Why are we alcoholics? Um, and it absolutely opened my eyes. And like I say, it all felt like on that one day, it all fell into place. You know, all the three things: the decision to stop, the getting to the meeting, and hearing those tapes was, what would you call it? A road to Damascus moment, an epiphany, whatever. Something happened on that day that had never happened before to me. And that was the start. So if you've seen the other films that I've made, or if this is your first time you've seen the film, one of my films, and you're at that point where you want to stop, then yeah, and this is where I'm struggling a little bit with how to do this channel, because I don't know if it's for me to tell other people how to do stuff. It's not. Well, it's not. I know it's not for me to tell other people how to do stuff. It's only for me to sort of say, this is how I did it, and it worked for me. It may not work for you, but you could try it. This is what to expect. This is what might happen. Blah blah blah. I'm absolutely not here to tell you what to do, or because it's different for everyone. You have to run your own race, as they say. So if you are at that point where you're ready to give up, ready to stop, ready to get sober, if you can make it to a meeting, get to a meeting, start there, just start there, and sit, listen, and if you want to speak. But the important thing for me was that it was my decision. I stopped because I wanted to stop. I think a lot of people, ain't ready to stop. They feel like they have to, or they've been forced to, or they're doing it under duress in a sense. They really want to just carry on, but they feel like, oh, I've got to. And I personally don't think you can get sober doing it that way. Now, I might be wrong, but I just don't think you can. For me, it was because I wanted to do it. Surely that's got to be easier. Wanting to do something has got to be easier than being dragged, kicking and screaming to do something. So if you can, like I say, if you're at that point where you're ready to stop, and you're really ready to stop, or you really want to do it, then there's no better time. Get to a meeting, speak to someone. You don't need to worry about getting a sponsor in your first day or anything like that. Just go there. And you know what? Even if you go to a meeting and you carry on drinking for another 6 months, now I want to be careful what I say here, because I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you go and carry on drinking. But I know that for me and for many others, there were a lot of false starts where that does happen. But even if you just get in the room and hear or see what it's like, it will take some of the fear out of it that you might be feeling. You know, it will take some of the mystery out of it. And as I say, every single person in that room wants you to get sober. They're all on your side. There's no judgment. There's no ego. There's no. Well, I mean, there might be some ego. I don't know, but there's no judgment certainly, because who are we to judge? Because we're all the same. We're all absolutely the same. Every walk of life, every age, every race, every religion, every class, whatever you like, it hits everyone. Yeah. So everyone in that room is there for the same reason, and they will all be on your side. So you couldn't really be in a better place. So, yeah, that's what I thought about a lot today, that first day. And it's funny because, as I said in the last video, I have been thinking probably more than I've ever thought in the whole 15 years. The last few weeks, I have been thinking about alcohol a lot, almost like teetering on the edge of a, not a relapse maybe, I don't know, but I can hear that little voice in my head sort of suggesting, go on, you know, just do something. Just, you know, do something. It'll be fine. You know, that needs to be kept in check. That really needs to be kept in check. So I've been thinking for a little while that I need to get back to the meetings myself. Although this feels a little bit like a meeting, it's just that I'm the only one here. Well, I mean you're here hopefully, but I can't see you. So anyway, that's it. That's all. That's all for sort of today. Try and get to a meeting if you feel like you're ready. There's no better place for you to be, in my opinion. There's no better place for you to be to get the skills you need to get your life back. So, yeah. Hopefully I'll see you again.